Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. Can I get your badge number again? I don't have much wiggle room in my job. Every word is recorded. There is a million policies, as is the world and public safety. I'm not allowed to even sigh audibly on the phone when something absurd is happening, so I had to get creative with this one girl. Without going into too much detail, I often get alarm companies calling and reporting a burglary alarm, or medical, fire alarm, etc. One of the alarm companies, that calls us all the time, as it's the most well-known in the country, requires their employees to obtain badge numbers for who they report the alarm to. Well, I've spoken to Sydney plenty of times. I recognize her name and her voice right away, but mostly I recognize her because she immediately speaks over my initial phone greeting. Here is my greeting verbatim. Hi, City Communications, this is badge number XXXXXX. How may I help you? Great, simple, quick. Well, Sydney lets me get a few words out before she screams over me with her greeting, not letting my recorded greeting finish. So I take the call, get all the information I need from her, and when I conclude the call she asks me for my badge number again. 100% of the time she does this. Since every second of this job is recorded and I sit right 5 away from my supervisors, I found the best remedy to Sydney's absurd behavior is to just get all of my information from her, then promptly give her a thank you goodbye. Click. I've done nothing wrong. Got all of my info, and there's no recording of me doing anything wrong. It may not catch up to her immediately, but when she tries listening back to the recording she has for my badge number, and just hears her shitty voice yelling anxiously over me, I will have my moment of peace. Really, wish I could just tell her she's being immature, but I can't, so this'll do. You're a cog, know your place, and only do what you're told. Okay. Various things happened at the company I worked with. I won't go into much detail, but I was building towards an exit, a difficult position to replacement. I asked to transfer out twice as I do not plan to stay on in this capacity into our winter period. Essentially gave them 6 months notice. At 3 months in, I suggested training a replacement. When I was hired, my department didn't exist, so there was little to no training. I basically built it from the ground up and learned as I went, trial by fire. I liked the company, wanted my replacement trained for a smooth transition after I left. Management was furious at the notion of my suggestion, and told me to leave management to management and basically know my place. So that's what I did, kept my head down, did my work, quietly removing any and all personal posts, notes I had tacked up around the office over the following weeks. Because much of my work was unsupervised, no one even knew these notes existed. If they didn't want me to train my replacement, I wasn't going to leave my materials behind as a guide. Put my 2 weeks in and was out before first snowfall. Coworker told me it was nearly 4 months before they found a replacement. If you don't like it, go home. Okay. This story involves my old supervisor. He's always been a bully to people and uses his size to try get his way. Many issues over the years. Sadly, I left before he did, so unsure if he's still at it. Now, a few years ago at an old job meeting, and a supervisor was having a bit of a heated argument. This was at just gone 9 a.m. He was quite an aggressive person, would get up in your face to make you back down, etc. On this particular occasion he shouted at me, "If you don't like it, go home." And something in me snapped and thought, yeah, I'll go home, and have a day off then. I stopped arguing back, walked to the cabin, followed by my supervisor still trying to shout at me, and asking where I'm going. Picked up my gear, got my overalls off, put my coat on and went home. He didn't stop trying to shout all the time I was leaving, and told me he would see me fired, etc. I wouldn't have minded if I was fired in that moment. I was expecting it. A few hours after I get home, I had human resources ring me asking why I walked off site. During an argument to which I explained I was told, if you don't like it, go home, and that's exactly what I did. They knew what had occurred as someone else reported it for being unprofessional. Most of site could hear it apparently. I didn't get fired for it, not even a warning. I actually got the rest of the week off on pay to whilst they investigated. I never thought I would get away with doing exactly what someone said in the heat of the moment. But even human resources said I did follow a supervisor's orders, even if it was leaving early.